start?
What inspired you to make this mock?
Well, I love Star Wars. So when Disney mentioned that they were going to do the Book of Boba Fett, I said, great, now it's time to come back. Because the last Star Wars build that I did was like more than 3 years ago, right? So I said, hey, it's time to get back. And I haven't done a big build like this in 10 years, okay? So once it started airing, I was picking up on what scene can I do a big diorama for. And the one that I liked was the casino because a lot of the scenes were done in the casino, right? So now I had to pick to be able to do this. Guess what? When you watch it, they don't show as much the detail, right? So what I had to do was take a lot of screenshots so that I can, find the details on the background. So if you'll notice here, this main casino, that was the first part that I built. And then afterwards, I just spread it around.
So you mainly focused on this part over
This
here.
part, yeah, this building, that was the start. So once I thought I got the details right, then I started building the other buildings.
And how does the interior look like of the houses?
Well, most of them are just, without details. But there are some that I kind of put, things. Because the hard part with this is you won't be able to see the interior, right? So I just put the minifigs coming out or going in and that stuff.
And where did you get the minifigs?
Well, the minifigs come from different sets. And there are Easter eggs there also. If you have noticed, some are from Ninjago, right? Some are from the older Star Wars movies. So take, for example, Lobot is also. And there are other Easter eggs, so to speak, here. So if you go here, you'll notice Leia with the Ewoks, right? And, well, who's that red guy?
The Imperial Guard.
Okay, the story on that, I didn't have that Imperial Guard before. But in the show that I did in April, the 501st Garrison were actually went and visited, they went in line. And I go what are they doing? So they were in line with everybody else. And one by one, they were looking at it. But the Imperial Guard was the last one in line. So you had the Scout Trooper, the Stormtrooper, the Sand Trooper, and the Imperial officers. So he was last in line. And he overheard me saying there are a lot of Easter eggs, right? So when he reached, me, he was holding the Imperial Guard minifig. And he said, can you put it in there, as an Easter egg? And I said, sure. So I built it, right? It was still sealed, right? The minifig was still in the plastic. So it's brand new. So I quickly, built it, and then afterwards I put it there. I go okay, happy now? And he goes yes, you made my day. So that's the story on that one.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.
So, what inspired you to make the floating frogs mock?
Well, one thing is I had a lot of frogs. You cannot make the floating frogs without, the frogs, right?
Yeah.
So I had a lot of frogs. And then before that, then the episode aired that night while I was fixing, all of the other figures, animals that I had. And then I saw they aired this episode with, Luke doing the Force, and had the frogs floating. And I go hey, I can do that. I said, because I know I had a lot of the frogs. So the very next day, I started building, again, taking screenshots just to see what the whole scene would look like. So there's a little lake, right? And then there's Grogu, and then Luke, okay, holding it. So it was just a matter of, putting this all together. And like I said, I got the idea from basically when I saw that I had the frogs to do it. Oh, and here's one trick. For all the kids who actually see this, I trick them into how many frogs are there. So they start counting. How many do you think are there?
I think there's a lot. I'll count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
There's definitely
12,
more than a dozen.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There's about 19 frogs.
Yeah, thereabouts.
And how did you make that tree?
Oh, no, it's just curved slopes. You'll see there. That's the arch, that you use for the no.
For the trees?
For the doors. Right? So it's just a matter of putting in slopes and arches and just make it a little bit organic.
Yeah.
And by the way, these are whips. The
Oh.
leaves, the vines.
Where
those
do you
are
get
actually
them?
Whips. They come from an older set. So
And-
I forgot which exactly it is.
And how did you make Luke put his hand
Oh,
on the
hand.
side?
That's actually a custom hand.
Okay, thank
It's
you.
actually custom. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.